Hi, this is Dawn, and this podcast is The Point, where we talk all things wedding planning in the city of Pittsburgh and beyond. If you're newly engaged, a year into planning, or you're going to say I do in 30 days, this podcast is for you. Hey everyone, this is Dawn, and I am here today with Kaitlyn Mayer from KM Content Studio. She's a content creator, and we're going to do some Am I the A-hole from Reddit? Yes?
Yeah, like wedding edition.
She's putting me in the hot seat. All right.
Dawn hasn't seen or read any of these, so we're getting real life reactions, immediate reactions.
Okay, I'm scared.
They're all over the spectrum too. It's Bridezilla, it's mom drama, friend drama, bunch of stuff. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
I, 31 female, and due to get married next year. It will be a small affair, 30-ish guests, just family and friends. While working out the guest list, my uncle asked if my cousin could have a +1 for his girlfriend. They're 25 and 26. I have yet to meet his girlfriend, but I've heard good things about her and seen pictures, so I said yes. Fast forward to now, my uncle has been making hints about how long my cousin and his girlfriend have been dating and how it won't be long until there's another wedding. He also has been making comments about how our venue is romantic enough for a proposal. What should I say to him?
Absolutely not. Do not do anything that steals the thunder from the bride and groom. That's just the hill I'm dying on.
I agree. And I think it's crazy to even insinuate that it should happen.
Yeah. And I think it's a different story if the bride is friends with the person that is expecting the engagement.
Right.
And she wants to do that for her friend.
She doesn't even know her.
But she doesn't even know her.
And it's your cousin.
Oh, that's crazy. Absolutely not. No way.
Okay, next one. I, 20 female, got invited to an acquaintance's wedding. We aren't close by any means, and we aren't related, but it's a wedding with a long guest list, so I wasn't surprised to be invited. On the card, it said that the wedding was a black tie ceremony, so I bought a simple black dress specifically for the wedding. Keep in mind, I'm a broke college student, and existing is already a strain on my wallet. Just to be sure the dress was okay, I sent a DM to the bride and asked if the dress was all right for the event. She said it's not, and I should wear something pastel instead. The black tie was mentioned on the invite because apparently some of the guys on the groom's side wanted to show up dressed down. The bride wanted the pictures to look nice, though. I told her I didn't really have anything good in pastel and I couldn't afford to get another dress, so she told me I should not show up unless I buy something in pastel to fit the actual dress code. I told her that I wouldn't be able to make the wedding, and now it seems that there seems to be a problem between us. Was I in the wrong?
No. No. And I see a lot of this where there's these financial constraints that are put on the bridal party to friends, even indoctrinating what they should wear, what colors they should wear. Like, I understand don't wear white. Like, that's a given. White, cream, silver, anything in that family. But you're really overthinking your guest, and it's not about the guest experience when you're doing that, when you're mandating you can't wear this, you can't wear that sort of thing. And the friend, I don't know if I would have sent the picture to the bride.
No, I probably wouldn't have either. Yeah. But also, she did say black tie, which I know means formal, but I think most people would just wear black just to
be
what
safe.
else are you going to wear? Yeah. That's a safe color to wear.
Yeah.
If you wanted people to wear pastel, you should have said wear pastels.
Garden colors. Yes. So I would say, no, you're not the a-hole. And maybe revisit that friend list. Yeah. Maybe it's not that important to be a friend with that bride.
I agree. My cousin is having a child-free wedding, so of course I arranged a sitter. The wedding and the reception are about 2 hours away from us. Here's the thing. My cousin is really big into Instagram and Pinterest, which I am not. The wedding pictures are a big deal for her, so she called me and asked if she can borrow my 9-year-old daughter and 10-year-old son for photos only. She said something like, I want a set of photos for my Instagram with a ring bearer and a flower girl, even though they are not actually the ring bearer and flower girl.
Children are not props. No. Let's get that clear. Family and friends, keep your cameras at home. Chances are the couple has hired a professional content team, photography, videography, content creation. They don't want you pulling out your Canon, period.
Well, also, the kids aren't in the wedding. So
would they be addressed appropriately? Either.
I guess the bride wants her cousin to dress up her kids as if they're in the wedding, but they're not actually in the wedding. So she would have to drive the two kids 2 hours to the venue, then drive them back for the babysitter because they're not invited to the wedding.
Children are not props.
It's a very weird ask.
And that's a lot. That's a lot of strain to put on one person.
She should have just had them in the wedding.
Why don't you just dress up, get 2 models and dress them up and take them out to a hillside and have your props necessary that you bought from Temu and do it. Right? Why put somebody else under that burden?
That's a weird, just for pictures. I don't know. I don't understand that.
I understand building your portfolio, but there's better ways to do that.
Yeah.
You can offer your services to a couple that's list on a Facebook group. Hey, I'm looking for a photographer for a budget.
Yeah.
My budget is $500. Can you help me? So when you're giving something and you're starting out like that, you can ask something. And that something can be, hey, by the way, do you mind if I use the ring bearer or the flower girl for pictures? And you're either going to get, a hard yes or a hard no on that, but it's a give and take because you're negotiating.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay, next one. I want to tell my friend that I can't be a bridesmaid anymore. We're both 23 females. I get her heart is in a good place, and I said yes initially because we've been friends basically our whole lives. But we haven't been that close recently, and I was roped into planning this engagement party planning picnic. And there just seems to be a lot of extremely detail-oriented tasks that I've never heard of. We met on Zoom 4 times just for this party planning picnic. The wedding isn't until next year, but I'm worried signing up for way more than I would be able to handle. Does detail-oriented necessarily lead to Bridezilla always?
I think I read this thread, to be honest. Full disclosure. There was something about font colors and everything. She was articulating the hashtag that they had to be identified by. Yeah. Run as fast as you can. When people show you who they are, believe them.
Yeah.
And if the behavior mandates that they're going to be really needy and demanding of you, and you see that early on, chances are that's not going to change. Don't expect them to change.
Yeah. I never really agreed with the whole making your friends and family drop everything just because you're planning a wedding. I've never really understood why that has to be a thing.
Me either.
Hire a wedding planner.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not fair to your friends or to your family or to anybody involved. Okay. Which one is this about? Oh, yes. The day of the wedding started out as they normally do. I, the bride, was inside getting ready and final touches were being made outside. After I was almost ready by noon, my mom had to run back to the hotel 20 minutes away to change and come back with my grandparents. The invitation says the ceremony starts at 2. Per usual, we were a little late starting, but nothing crazy. Next thing I know, I'm walking myself down the aisle with no mom, grandma, or family friends in sight, because the ceremony continued on without them being there. My mom was 45 minutes late when I decided to walk down the aisle. Then I proceeded to tell them when they visited after the ceremony, to tell them that it was already over and that they missed it, and my mom immediately became hostile with me and burst into tears. Should I have held up the ceremony for her?
Well, I think this is going to be a personal preference. In the relationship that you have with your parent. My mother, absolutely. I would stop everything so that my parents would be there. And I would also have a hard time walking down the aisle thinking, what happened?
Yeah.
Are they hurt?
Where are
Was
they?
there an accident?
Yeah.
How could you even move forward with that?
I think we need more context here. Was your mom just careless and late? Did something happen?
Yeah.
I mean, she did show up eventually. And kind of seemed like she didn't really care that she was late. But you have to think about the venue too. They have a schedule they have to stick to.
And a meal that has to be served at a certain
45 minutes late is late for a ceremony.
Yeah. I think I would have met somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
At the minimum, I would have paused it because you can find reasons to pause for 10 or 20 minutes if need be. It could be a wardrobe malfunction or something of that sort. But 45 minutes is a long time. I'm going to say, unless your mom is your bestie. But I would be on the phone. Why wasn't anybody on the phone?
Why was anybody looking for them?
Yeah. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
We actually had something like this at the angel wedding. And I'm not sure if you were aware of this, but the mother of the groom's significant other wasn't there.
I didn't know
everybody,
that.
yeah, because you were up on the balcony,
Yeah.
right? So, and the mother of the groom was like hyperventilating because she had no one to sit with. She would be sitting by herself.
Yeah.
And she's like, he was supposed to be there and his child and date. And she's like, where are they? Why are they not here yet? And so like, we're all in panic mode saying, okay, nobody's going down the aisle until this woman is at ease. And then I was like, can somebody please call him or text him? And so she called and they were parking. They were just pulling in and parking. And we were like, come on, hurry up, get in your seat. The ceremony's going to begin, which I do have thoughts on that.
People being late?
People being late and people being early.
Yeah, both. We've seen people be way early.
Whatever the time says on the invitation, be respectful. Don't come 2 hours early. If the ceremony is at 4 o'clock, you're being so disrespectful to the couple, their timeline, their day. They may be planning a first look. They may be planning portraits with
the venue
each other.
usually is not ready 2 hours beforehand.
Correct. We had people coming in 2 hours early and we were like, what? And I understand that you're anxious and maybe it's a location you've never been to before, but you can go find it, Google it, and then go have a cup of coffee at Denny's.
Or sit in your car.
Yeah.
Take a nap.
Yeah. It's anything I think before 30 minutes is entirely disrespectful to the couple.
I also have a big issue with people coming late. If people coming late, it happened at every wedding I've done so far.
Really?
And I don't understand the need for you to like find a seat while the ceremony is happening. Why can't you just stand in the back?
Oh my God.
Why am I like in the aisle trying to get video?
Yeah.
And now I have guests behind me shuffling, standing.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Making noise.
Just stand in the back.
Yeah. Where's the respect? You should be giving it all to the couple.
Yeah.
Whether you're early or late, you should be just de facto defaulting to whatever is needed to make that ceremony go off without a hitch or without a sound.
Right. It's very rude. If you're going to be, I understand that things happen, but you don't. Just understand that you have now missed the start of the ceremony. Yeah. You can watch it from afar. Yeah. That's one of my biggest pet peeves.
Agreed.
And you
100%.
can see it on my face. I get really angry.
You can see on your face when you get angry about anything.
That's
There's
true.
no hiding that Puerto Rican.
I get so mad when that happens. Okay, next one. This one's interesting.
All right, I'm listening.
I agreed to be a bridesmaid in my friend's wedding. The morning of the wedding, the photographer got sick and had to leave. Since I own a nice DSLR camera and like taking pictures as a hobby, the bride suddenly told me I wouldn't be a bridesmaid anymore and expected me to photograph the wedding instead for free. She even had someone else wear my bridesmaid dress so the photos would look even. I left before the ceremony started because I was crying and upset. Now our mutual friends are saying I abandoned her on the biggest day of her life. What are your thoughts?
I can't use you as a bridesmaid, but I do need a photographer.
Now you're the hired help and you're not paying you.
And how did she know that she had a camera and that she was like
I guess
easily available to do that?
So she said that she likes taking pictures as a hobby. Maybe she had her camera with her.
But there's more context here, right? Like, how did she know that the camera was in the car, that she had a fully powered battery?
That there was another girl there that could fit into the dress?
Yes. Sounds like maybe the bride had a plan B. Maybe she knew something was going on with the photographer and that was her plan B, because that all just came together too quickly. I'm going to say bridesmaid, hero, bride, zero. Yeah. Is my opinion.
I don't think you should be expected to do anything for free. Even if that's your friend and you volunteer to step up and I'm going to bow out of being a bridesmaid and I'll photograph your wedding. Your bride should not expect for you to do that for free.
Yeah. And it's also a little bit emotional blackmail on her part. Yeah. You know, exploiting her friendship. Yeah. And then what happens if the pictures suck? For whatever reason, or the SD card gets wiped.
Yeah, because she said it's a hobby. She's not a professional.
Right. So is she...
Yeah. Does she have lighting?
Is that going to put more wear and tear on their relationship down the road? I would have been. If I was the bridesmaid, I would have been, oh my goodness, I would love to do that for you, but I don't have a battery.
I don't have an SD card.
You can't, you just can't get a battery for a DSLR camera like that. Right? That's hard to come by. So I would have found some kind of, I don't have it in my bag just a little white lie just to like save the relationship long term.
Yes.
And then let's get on the internet and find a photographer for you.
Yeah.
I'll help you find a photographer in my dress.
Yeah. I'm already dressed. Yeah. Exactly. I agree. My future mother-in-law keeps telling everyone we're cheap because we were serving Costco sheet cake instead of custom wedding cake. The guests actually loved it. She says I embarrassed the family.
I'm Team Costco. I love Costco. Everybody who knows me knows, my husband knows, whenever I'm having a bad day, Dawn, let's go shopping at Costco. I love Costco. I think that their buyers have great taste.
Their cakes are good.
And I think it's a great way to save money.
Yeah.
Like, why? Because cakes get wasted.
Yeah.
People do not eat the cake.
And how would the guests have even known it was from Costco?
Correct. If it is the same flavor and everything, nobody's going to know. That's just
all of my birthdays. My high school graduation, it was always a Costco sheet cake. Yeah. And everybody loved it. It's a hit.
Yeah, Costco rocks.
Nobody would have known the difference if the mother-in-law wasn't telling people.
No. That's somebody who just wanted a little power.
Yeah. Here's another mother-in-law one for you.
Okay, I'm excited.
My husband and I specifically discussed family formals before the wedding. We agreed we wanted both of us included in the formal family portraits. If we took pictures with my family, he was included and vice versa. We were getting married and we wanted the portraits to reflect that. There was one grouping we specifically did not want, which was my husband, his mom, and his siblings, without me, and our photographer knew this ahead of time. I was there for all the family formal portraits, but stepped outside briefly to get a drink. During the next few minutes I was gone, that exact photo was taken. Fast forward to receiving our wedding gallery, we posted some photos online, and my mother-in-law called asking if we'd gotten the gallery back. Obviously, she already knew that we did. She asked for the link specifically and said she wanted the photo of herself with all of her children. I contacted the photographer before this interaction had happened with her and asked for the photo to be removed from the gallery. I just didn't want this particular photo in our wedding gallery because it represents the exact dynamic that has made me feel excluded for years.
Bravo.
I agree.
Bravo.
Because her mom immediately grabbed the photographer to take that picture. And the photographer should not have taken that picture.
Yeah. Bravo to the bride and standing up for herself. Mm-hmm. And she paid for the photographer too.
Yeah. So.
Right? I'm assuming that.
I would think so.
That.
But they had prior conversations, she said, with the photographer. And she said that she really didn't want this picture taken. The photographer did it anyway. Yeah. I think that's a red flag.
I think that all brides out there, you should preview your gallery or your sneak peeks before you share them with anyone. Yes. And have that conversation with your photographer.
And have the conversation with your parents about what you are telling the photographer to take. Because there's a lot of times during like family portraits, I notice when moms are coming over and they're like, is this on the list? Is this on the list? Yeah. And I'm like, I'm just doing what is on this list.
That's a really good point.
We're not adding in fifth cousins. She didn't have that on here. And then they get mad at
the photographer. They
get mad at me because I usually help the photographers during that time. And then they're mad at us. Yeah. Because they think that we don't want to take the picture.
Sure.
Talk to your family.
Yeah. You're getting married. You're an adult. Have an adult conversation with them and say, Mom,
you don't
Dad,
like your mom's brother. You don't like your uncle. Yeah. Tell your mom that and that he's not in pictures.
Yeah.
Because now I'm uncomfortable.
Transparency is everything.
Yeah, I agree. Here's the rundown. A couple hired a photographer recommended by friends. Pre-wedding, she seemed professional and capable. However, on the big day, everything fell apart. To kick things off, she arrived 4 hours late. When she finally made it, it was evident something was amiss. She approached the bride and blurted out, "I can't do this." She then proceeded to overshare her troubles, including a recent breakup and an unwarranted pregnancy situation. It was disruptive and added unnecessary stress to our already hectic day. If that weren't enough, her attire was also unsuitable for a professional setting. Frustrated and disappointed, I, who's a guest, left an honest review detailing the experience with this photographer. Now she's trying to have those reviews deleted. I heard through the grapevine that she even was talking badly about the wedding party to other vendors because they weren't empathetic enough to her situation. Was I in the wrong as a guest to write a review about this photographer?
This is a double-sided sword because I see it being used to weaponize and go after people just because somebody said this person did me wrong. Yeah. And there's people there that have no real life experience of what happened going and attacking those people. So I'm not a fan of that scenario. In this scenario, I think if she gave a fair assessment or a review, I think it's okay. But then again, she's not the client. She didn't pay for the service. And I think reviews should be written by the person that paid for the service, not just a bunch of internet trolls or people that, maybe were attending. I don't understand how they even got so far as to have a conversation with the photographer about her troubles. Why didn't they say 4 hours late? Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll be hearing from our attorney. Have a nice day.
Right. Turn her away. I also think too, if you're a guest writing a bad review, you don't know if the client has received everything that they're supposed to get.
Yeah.
So don't mess it up. What if she didn't get her full gallery yet? And now you're writing bad reviews.
Right.
And now she's screwed out of a gallery.
Right.
Keep your opinions to yourself.
I think you should leave your reviews in your box of what you paid for, not necessarily what somebody else paid for.
Let the couple, you can urge them to write a bad review, but let them decide.
But they have other ways to reconcile that. Mm-hmm. So they have other options to get that corrected. They don't need you to do it for them. They're adults. Again, they're getting married.
Yeah.
Right?
I think some people just like writing bad reviews.
I do. We love our drama, right? Yeah.
This is why we're doing this. Okay, this is actually the last one. This one is funny, I think. A 25-year-old groom-to-be and his 24-year-old fiancé were planning their October wedding. His fiancé chose a small local church where she had been christened as a baby. The church was meaningful to her, but it was also pretty small for the number of guests they had planned to invite, so they had to cut the list. The groom believes she only picked it because she grew up in a family that didn't have much money. In his mind, she was choosing the cheap option out of habit rather than what she actually wanted. Since money wasn't an issue for him, he talked to his father, who offered to pay for a destination wedding in Venice, Italy. Where do you think this is going? Not only would his dad cover the venue, but he also offered to pay for airfare, hotels, and transportation for guests. Instead of discussing it with her, he booked the venue, sent out invitations, and finalized plans before telling her. He figured she would be overwhelmed by the cost if he asked first, so he wanted to present it as a done deal and a big surprise. When he finally revealed it, he was shocked to find out that she was furious, and he genuinely doesn't understand why she was upset. This is crazy.
Don't go buy the woman the perfume she doesn't wear, right? Don't buy her a fur coat if she's against it. I mean, you have to know the woman that you're marrying and what she wants. And there was probably a sentimental attachment to that church that made it meaningful for her. Maybe you continue with the ceremony at that small church and then book a rad honeymoon in Italy or something like that. I can see that as a surprise, but don't surprise your bride with the wedding plans. That's a no. Don't do that.
And this is I chose this one because I think this is a lot of moms, I think, interject themselves in wedding planning, and they try to choose things. They think, well, maybe she wasn't thinking about this, so I'll buy the cake. I'll do this. I'll do that. And now the bride is left with stuff that she didn't want. Yeah. Leave the bride alone.
I agree 1,000%. And, we do see a lot of that. Oh, my.
Journey's here.
Somebody must be trying to give me a loan. I think I get 5 calls a day just for loans. Before my phone rang, my theme song, Don't Stop Believing, because I think that's our mantra for life, is I do see a lot of the brides posting in the group how they feel disenfranchised from their own wedding because family members are saying, I want this and you need to do this. And this was my dress and I need you to find a way to wear it. Or at my wedding, I even heard some wedding planners, use that term. Well, we did this at my wedding. We're in a different generation, babe. It's their day. It's their wedding. It should be their way. And you need to step back and be a guest and let them draft the floor plan or draft the blueprint for their own wedding, and then assist wherever you can. If they say, I want a cake, you can say, I can offer to pay for that. Would you like me to help you with that? Let's go through some photos and see what you want. But if you truly, truly want them to have a day that they're never going to forget in a good way, be their advocate. Yeah. Not overstepping or overreach.
I definitely think don't assume what the couple or the bride want. If they want help, if they need help, they'll ask for help. Interjecting and everybody's opinions and everybody asking questions nonstop, like that's makes everything more stressful. And then that causes like hostility and fights. And
Yeah.
if my husband did this, we would not be getting married.
Well, and I think that that's a really good point too, because now their head is spinning. And I've seen a lot of brides in the group recently saying, I don't want a wedding anymore. I just want to go elope and go. And I don't want to deal with it anymore because they're just fried. Their brain is fried from this one saying this and this one saying that. And everybody has an opinion. And they've had this fairy tale in their mind since they were little girls watching Disney of what they want. And that's evolved through the years, but they still unequivocally know what they want, and they don't need all of your input and opinions on how their wedding should be.
Right.
You need to back the frick off.
Yeah. Make that the title.
Yeah. Back the frick off.
Yeah.
So is that the last one?
That was my last one. Yeah.
Okay. I have a couple for you.
Oh, okay.
She thought she was going to get out of the hot seat. Actually, they're not Reddits.
Okay.
They are. I want to get your
boss
feedback.
It or toss it.
Boss it or toss it. But the first thing I want to ask you is, we did that podcast on the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce wedding about what we thought might be trends that we would see from that wedding. And I'm pretty confident in some of those things that we declared. But as a lifelong Swiftie,
yes,
every song forwards and backwards.
I do.
I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Why would someone who has built an empire on the prince and the princess and the fairy tale and making everyone a believer in the story not want to share the happy ending?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I think that they're doing a documentary of some kind.
Okay.
They originally shut it down immediately, but it's been now way too long. And she has always shared stuff fast. Like their engagement, I told you, it was 2 days later. She's posting about it.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's weird. I think she's got something cooking up her sleeve. Whether it's a look into the behind the scenes, whether she sold the story to someone. She's been doing a lot of stuff with Disney lately. Maybe they're doing a Disney thing.
Okay.
I don't know. I think there's some sort of video aspect that's going to be happening.
I think it's a little dismissive of her fans.
I think so too. Yeah.
I'm not hating on her, but I think that her fans all this time have been wanting her to have her happy ending, and they want to see that and see what that looks like and the wedding and all of that, so that they can, be even more inspired. I think too,
she had the world watching her, waiting for stuff, and now it's been a month.
Yeah.
And it's kind of tanked, that anticipation. I don't know if that many people outside of Taylor Swift fans now care about the wedding. I think she had piqued interest of a lot of people that are outside of this.
Yeah.
And now they're well, whatever. So I don't know. I don't know if she sold the story to someone. I don't know if she's going on a talk show. I have a funny feeling Disney's involved somehow. But yeah.
Just a hot take.
Yeah.
Number one search term for the last 30 days has been the Taylor Swift Kelce wedding and what happened and trying to find it still has the momentum that it had a couple days after the wedding.
All she has to do is share one photo too.
Yeah.
Because all the questions are about what dress did she wear? What did her hair look like?
Right.
What did her makeup look like? Just one picture would answer a dozen questions. So.
Okay. So as an Instagram guru, a social media guru, as a content creator, do you think the fact that she has shut down everything and people were not allowed to use their phones coming in, they were locked up actually, and she's not dropping any deets now, do you think that's going to change the future for weddings, for real life weddings? Do you think people are going to be inspired and say, okay, I don't want my wedding all over Instagram? Do you think that she's going to have that kind of impact?
I don't know. I think that a lot of people think that when they are a bride that they are now an influencer. So now they're sharing everything.
Agreed.
I did a wedding actually 3 weeks ago. I got home around 10 and at 10:15 the bride was posting stuff. And I was dude, their reception was till 11. Yeah. And I was you're still at your wedding posting on Instagram.
Okay, that's dark. That's really kind of dark.
That's what I think that it's going toward.
Yeah.
I think maybe like the bigger ticket weddings, the celeb weddings, people will be more inclined to like, well, Taylor didn't share for 2 months. So like, I'm not like a lot of celebs now, like, you know, they sell it to people and like the next day it's in a People magazine spread.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be more inclined to like, I don't have to sell the story to anybody. Like if Taylor did it, I can do it. But she's also a billionaire and she's Taylor Swift. So.
Well, and you and I have had this conversation before. It's part of the dopamine, too.
Yeah.
Like, that's the gift of what you do as a content creator. You give them what they need first thing in the morning after their wedding. So they have content reels ready to post. They can say, we did it. We got married. It's been a long journey. And they don't have to go through, you know, a bunch of content that their family made that God only knows what that looks like, right? And hopefully they didn't do any during ceremony because that's one of our pet peeves.
Yeah.
But, okay, I do want to do boss it and toss it with you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. There's yours. Here's mine. We're going to do boss it and toss it. So, tiramisu as a wedding cake.
Okay. I'm a bad Italian. I don't like tiramisu.
You don't like coffee?
I do like coffee. I don't like tiramisu. I don't think it's the lady fingers. I don't like them.
Okay.
So I'm biased, obviously.
Okay.
I do like the idea of like untraditional wedding cakes. I'm not the biggest cake person.
Right.
And by the time the cake comes around, I'm like, I don't really want to eat this.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of like I think Midnight Olive, actually, one of our like caterers, they do like the interactive.
The cannoli cart.
Yeah, that. But like she's doing now like they like build the tiramisu cake like while guests are sitting. I think that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, it's an interactive experience.
Yeah.
1000%. I love it. So I'm a big fan of tiramisu. So I'm gonna say boss it. I have yet to see this at a wedding, but I know that
I
it
keep
is
seeing
hot.
it. Yeah. I keep seeing because like the same thing with like content creating. Like we've talked about, things start with like the big budget weddings and like trickle down.
Yeah.
I keep seeing a lot of like big budget weddings, luxe weddings having tiramisu.
Yeah.
Like, then like they do the champagne towers now instead of like desserts and things like that. The what was that other one I saw? The espresso martini towers. Have you seen those? Those are pretty funny.
No, I haven't seen those. I would like to have some of those. Banter Brothers, Adam, can we do some espresso martini towers here at the next party? How fun that would be. Okay, I've got another one. Since we have a lot of brides on budgets and they're looking for ways to save money, should they move forward with a traditional mailed invitation or should they implement the newer digital invitations?
I'm gonna say toss it to digital invitations.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a wedding. I like the idea of a mailed invitation. I do like when people put the like, QR code to respond online.
Okay.
Because I don't want to send anything back.
Okay.
So I haven't really been old enough to like receive something that you had to like send back.
Sure.
With like, you know, what meal you wanted and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
I can remember my parents doing that when I was a kid.
Right.
But as long as I've been alive, it's been the QR code, which I like. I don't know. I use like digital invites for like my kids' birthday parties. Mm-hmm. So I feel weird doing that for like a wedding.
I'm going to say if your budget allows, stick with a traditional. But if you're trying to save some money, it's a really good way to save a good chunk of money that you can put on to something else. Because when we did the invitations for the angel wedding, I mean, it was $450 just to print them plus postage plus mailing. And then we still had a third of the crowd that did not respond to the RSVP. And we had to do those forget-me-nots on top of it. So total was somewhere close to about $800, $900. And I know I've seen them out there for more than that. And, you know, it's a pretty good chunk of change that you could put into the guest experience or something else if you're so inclined. I mean, the economy is what it is and people are trying to save. So here is another one to save money. The champagne for champagne toasts.
I'm going to say toss the champagne toast.
I'm going to say toss it too.
I think a lot of people, I don't drink.
Yeah.
I don't. So like you're wasting champagne on me. Yeah. My husband's also not going to drink champagne.
Right.
So like that's 2 people out of like, let's say 100.
Yeah.
It's a waste.
No, I agree.
For the couple, if they'll drink it, sure, give them champagne, maybe mom and dad.
Or the bridal party.
Yeah.
Or the bridal party. Have champagne fluid on their tables. Absolutely. But I say toss it. I think that is a another big expense that you're buying all those bottles of wine for the champagne toast, when the reality is most people are not going to drink it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be wasted, which is sad.
Yeah.
Put that money towards something else that you want for your wedding. And I saw this one recently, which I thought was really interesting. And I thought you might enjoy this. Bride walking down the aisle with her bouquet and stopping as she's going down the aisle and giving a single rose to members of her family that meant something to her, be it a grandmother, a mother, a sister, someone, as she was going down the aisle. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, I don't like that.
Okay. That's why I have her here in the hot seat.
That, I feel like, wastes time, I think. I like when somebody's passed and people like put the flower on the seat. I like the bouquet dedication that people do.
Yeah.
I think walking down the aisle and handing out flowers we're doing too much.
Okay, so you say toss it?
Yeah.
So I'm on the shelf on this one. I'm going to say I like this if it's not overkill.
Yeah.
If it's like one sister that you're really close to or a grandmother that you're really close to, taking that moment to acknowledge them, I think is just so heartwarming. I also think it gives you a little bit more time on stage and it makes you slow down.
Yeah.
A little bit. I see a lot of brides, they seem like they're doing a 4K, to get down the aisle.
Yeah.
It's just like take a pause, give a rose to grandma.
But do you think it like interrupts like the bride and the groom like seeing each other? You think he's still going to be like sobbing?
No, I think he's still going to be sobbing. And I think she's still going to be sobbing if she remembers to give the flowers at all.
Yeah.
But regardless whether they give the flowers or not, I would like to see brides just really take that in and slow the heck down, right? Take your time. There's no need. It's not a speedway, right? Just really take it in, in all the people that are surrounding you, the environment, because it's going to go by really quick that day and you've been waiting for that for a long time and you deserve that moment to take as much time as you want.
I also, speaking of aisle shots, I saw this, I keep seeing it now. Oftentimes venues don't have enough room for like giant bridal parties to be standing at the altar with them. So they send them to like the first or second row. But there have been weddings where they're doing like on the bride side, all the bridesmaids sit on the aisle and all the groomsmen sit on the aisle. And I love how that looks. Because now also, if there's like somebody in the aisle with a phone, your bridesmaids and your groomsmen don't have their phones on them. So they're not going to
block them.
Yeah.
They're going to be little
and
pit
also
bulls.
like picture wise, it looks really pretty to have everybody on the ends.
I love
I do
that.
too. I haven't seen it at a wedding I've done yet, but I keep seeing it on social media. Like don't just hide them in the second row, like put them in the aisle.
Yeah.
And now they can like actually see everything too.
And it makes it easy for recession too.
Yeah.
Because they just
pick up and walk. Yeah.
Right? It's not like this following line. It's just two and two and two. I love that.
Yes, me too.
Good. That's a good call.
Yeah.
Boss that. The groomsmen.
Yes, boss it.
And the bridesmaid, have them sit
Give them
on
the aisle caps.
aisle caps. Leave those seats reserved for them. That's all that I had for today. I just wanted to do a couple that I thought were like this Taylor Swift thing.
We will be back on the couch.
We will be back talking about this. Because,
even if it's a year from now.
Well, I do think when we do get the deets, it's going to set the trends for weddings until 2030, maybe beyond.
Yeah.
Whatever, everything.
Well, one of my friends and I, like my friend who's another Swiftie, we were talking about this. Like, at first I thought she was going to drop small things. And now I have been saying, I was like, maybe it's like a documentary. My friend thinks it's something like that too, where she's just going to like, instead of being like, this was my dress, and like a week later, like this was the venue, I feel like she's gonna drop everything at once, and it's gonna like hit the wedding. Yeah, it's gonna hit like the wedding industry by storm, because then it's gonna be like, it's like overload for brides that are like Swifties that now want to like mimic, because it's gonna be everything at once that they're gonna have to like, how can I do this? How can I do this? And especially, we should try to find a Swiftie.
Let them know how to find you.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at _KM Weddings. And then my website is www.KaitlynMayer.com.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I want to say that I have the pleasure of working with you on several events and collaborations, and they've all been seamless. So you have my highest endorsement. You're also
Thank you.
verified pro on
I am.
PittsburghBrides.com, so you can find her there as well. Make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe, right? And you can also follow Kaitlyn on her social media at KM
__ KM weddings.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.